and welcome to Mickey Art. My name's Michelle Edhouse, and today I'm combining a couple of things that I have gathered in the last few days. Recently my kids went to the ice cream truck and had run out of cones, and they ended up with these boats instead, which are recyclable, thank goodness. But Damien said to me, "Mum, do you want to pour out of this?" And I looked at the way it was shaped and how I was like, "Oh yes, I do, that looks fabulous." So I'm gonna pour out of that. And then I was on the other side of town yesterday, and I went to a second-hand shop that I haven't been to ever, actually, which is really unusual for me. I'm usually in with a grin, but I'm just never on that side of town when I have time and they are open. So, and guess what? They had a 50% off sale. So this cost me $1.50. It's not got any markings. It's not anything fancy, fandangled, flash thing. Can even see the lines where the person put the varnish on the top, I think. So, you know, it's not my sort of thing, but I do like the shape. Check that out. And normally I pour from the bottom down. This time I'm going to pour from the top down, just because it gets smaller at the bottom. I want to see what that does. Anyway, so we're going to pour on that, out of that. So let's have a look at our colours. Now, many of you will have seen my recent live stream, and number 13 video, Ramona picked phthalo blue, violet, you can hardly see the violet, but it is in there, and white. And we got this, and I just love it. I think it's delicious. So I'm gonna have a play with those colors. But I was mixing up a new batch of iridescent medium, and I thought to myself, you know what, that purple mixed with iridescent medium will just be delicious. So that's what I'm going to do. I've a new batch of violet, because we used all that up. We had poured so much paint. That was so fun. I really enjoyed that. So this has only just been mixed, and it's thickened up already. How's it get any better than that? So let's just flick some more water into that. For those of you that are new to my channel, I mix my paints with Floetrol and water. The paints I use are Reeves, and I don't use the intro one. I use the more expensive version. They used to be called their Fine Artist acrylic range, but you know, they've repackaged and took the Fine Artist part out of that. So who knows who jumped up and down and said that doesn't work, but obviously someone did. And I also use the iridescent medium, and I mix that up exactly the same way as I do with paint. And sometimes I mix it into the paints like I'm doing now, and quite often I just use it as a paint all of its own. Some kind of dries like a silver, but sort of a white silver. But when you mix it in, it just gives an iridescence, a sparklies. I don't know if I can capture that. There we go, look. It just adds that sparkle. And I'm hoping it will lighten that purple up a bit, and it doesn't get lost in the Prussian blue that I'm using today. I would use phthalo blue, but I'm not, because sometimes when I'm mixing my paints, they decide they want to be clumpy, and they have to sit for 24 hours and sort of absorb the moisture into those clumps, and then it will just stir nice and clean. So I've just spent a good couple of hours mixing paints, and for those of you that do also mix paints, the way I do it, and you've seen me do it, is I mix up a whole tube all at once into a container that's airtight, and what that then creates is ease of access and ease of, oh, I'm just going to do this, and I get to pour and it's done and it's easy and it's fun, and I don't have to spend half an hour mixing just enough paint just for this painting. So she says, having mixed just enough paint just for this painting. Now, what I thought would be kind of cool is, first of all, I'm going to put a layer of Prussian blue on my vase just to cover it, make sure there's no oils hit on and we end up with some pear colour sticking through, doing something weird. But what I thought I'd do is I would put lines of paint, and then who knows what it'll do, but hopefully we'll get lots of layers and lots of colours and it'll look cool, hopefully. Cross fingers. So let's just check our blue is thin enough. It's looking pretty similar to that purple. You just want to try and keep your paints at a similar consistency to all the others. You know, if they're all the same consistency, you should be right. When you start getting one that's really runny and one that's really thick, you get weird stuff happening. And on 3D objects, I tend to try and keep my colours a little bit thicker. They run a little bit less and you don't sort of lose it all off the bottom. But the other piece about doing 3D objects, keeping them thicker, is they don't blend together as much quite so easily. So there's pros and cons, depends what you're after. But let's get this painted up first. Just gonna, now I just want to show you the lid of this container. That blob of paint is Prussian blue when it's dry, so don't be deceived by the colour that's coming out of my brush right now, because it's lying. One of the other things about putting paint on like this onto a 3D object is your paint will flow down the fastest rivulet. So if you start pouring onto a dry surface, you're gonna get areas that just all down one bit, and it makes a path, and then it's really hard to unpath it. It's like trying to get the Niagara Falls to go a different direction. It's not easy. So pop that up there on my, I'm going to do a side shot for you of the actual pour so you get to see a better. The other thing that I'm going to do is I've got this silicone cup. Now somebody asked me last time I used this, where did you get that silicone cup? This is actually left over from the days when my children made their own slushies, and it was the outer cup that held the ice-filled slushy making bag that you went like this and scrunched the liquid around inside the ice making bag, and the cold transferred it and blah 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 blah. Anyway, it's a leftover, I'm always reusing stuff, so, and it's actually about the perfect size to fit into that hole. And let me just show you what I mean. So what that's done is it's blocked the paint from running down inside, but also given me a way that I can sort of vaguely control it. I can, without having to touch the top paint. That's the plan anyway. Plan, Stan. Okay, before that paint all dries, let's prepare our little boat. Okay, so I'm gonna pop the boat up like that and pour some blue. Oh, that white's thick, hold on. So I mixed that off camera so that you don't have to put up with me mixing all my paint. Sorry about that. So I'm just going to put some white and then some of our metallic violet, and then some more blue. This is Prussian blue. And then some more white. And then some more violet. Oh shoot! Well, that is now not neatly layered, is it? Crikey. Whoops. I was being so neat and tidy. Some of you are going, yeah, well, that was your problem, Michelle. You're not normally neat and tidy. The universe is reminding you of such. Okay. Let's just pick this paint up. And put some more in there. There we go. Ta-da! Now, let's tilt you over so you can see what I can see. Alright, so I'm hoping that this is not going to be a despicable mess now that I no longer have layers, but we'll just call it a dirty cut pour, alright? So, I'm a twit. Anyway. I've got the vase up on top, sitting on one of my, I've got no silicone in any of these colours, by the way. I've got the vase sitting on one of my, what are those things called? Tins, tuna tins, so that hopefully the paint will run down. So this is what I was meaning by we get that result. So I should have left this paint down here for this job, but okay. Just gonna fill in the gaps. And try and make sure that the whole piece gets covered. I'm really liking the look of that. super pretty. And if I'd put enough paint on to make sure it definitely covered, I could have just left it just like that and let it run down and do a beautiful piece just like that. But I didn't. There is not enough paint on there. I did get a little whisper in my ear, so I'm not sure which one of you said it, that I should have poured the blue first to get the drips running. And I just want to acknowledge whoever said that right at the beginning. I heard you, but ignored you. I do love you though. Alright. Here we go. We've still got paint in our boat, so let's pour some more. I'm just turning the Lazy Susan gradually around while I pour. Pour a bit faster, get thinner line, sorry, turn a bit faster, you get thinner lines, less paint, more patterning. Right, before I run out, I'm going to double check that I'm actually getting all the way to the bottom with this. Oh, hubby's sticking his nose in to peek through the window. Hey, handsome.
Hey, you're beautiful. Oh, that was cool.
It does, eh?
That's real funky. Nice.
Loving it. So just finish off now that we've actually got paint all the way around. Another rim. And this way we'll get some funky drip off as well, which we can dip cabochons in. Oh, yum. Yum, yum, yum. I'm loving what I'm seeing. All right. Wow. That is so cool. Oh my goodness. So we do have some sort of cell-like stuff going on. And that is from the Floetrol. As I say, we don't have any silicone in any of that. Let's see if I can get you a better shot without my tripod falling over. Look at that. It's so pretty. So pretty. I love it. Oh. Yum. Wow. Crikey me. That is stunning. I love this bit here. We've still got some cells down the bottom there. But it's still actually moving, so yum. Now, in the past, you guys have told me off for doing it on the glass. So as you can see, I have listened. Haven't done it on a canvas because the weight pushing down into the center of a canvas would be massive. But what I've done is I've done it on a piece of my card. Yes, we ate another box of cereal since we went live. And so we will be able to make something with that, which is very cool. So it's time to move it, move it. I'm going to move it, move it. And by moving it, hopefully, it stems that suck of the paint down the side of the tin. That tin looks delicious. Let me get you down and show you what's happening. No, it's still running. That is just genie in a bottle type look. It's just so beautiful. I really, really like it. Yes. It looks almost glass. I think I'm going to have to resin this. So pretty. Anyway, what can we do with this? Let's have a look. Okay, so first step is to take the tin off, which is very pretty, by the way. Look at that. I like the tin, except where I just put my fingers. Stick that over there. Alright, is there anything I would like to dip immediately? Let's have a look. I don't think there is. I've got a little bit of paint left in that bowl. I'm just gonna do a bit of a spiral pour in the middle. See what that adds. So the question is, do we just leave it to dry, or do we swipe and scrape and play? I'm actually thinking leave it to dry. Might be what most of you are screaming at me Although I know there's some of you saying, dip it. But I really like that. Pregnant lady with a tail. No? It's the head, the arms, the belly, the running legs, and the tail. What do you know? What do you reckon? I know that it moves easier if it's got paint to run on, like I just said earlier. Let's run it out. Oop, don't lean too far, you'll get the vase, Michelle. That wouldn't be good. I'm really liking this. It's very pretty. I had just been thinking I don't want that to stick to the glass, so that was that being asked for and received. Doesn't always turn up the way you think it will when you ask. Universe, God, whoever I'm asking, please may I have? And it shows up and you're like, that wasn't what I meant. I'm actually going to leave it at that. I like it a lot. It's Funky Town. Alright, so it's leave it to dry time, guys. We've got a funky vase. Still draining. But we'll see what happens. And I'll be back once this is dry, which will be in 3, 2, 1. Well, it's dry and oh my goodness, it's so pretty. It is so pretty. Ugh. I so like this. It's so pretty. I'm actually not seeing much iridescence in it. It's not got the shine happening, which is a little bit annoying. Well, it's got the shine because you can see that, but that's the light reflection. But it is so pretty. I really like this. Really, 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 really like it. Very happy with this. Oh, so pretty. So pretty. How did it get so better? So happy. Oh, happy Mickey. Alright. So my tin dried pretty cool too. Maybe I could put some what's that stuff called? Foam rubber in there and make it a pin cushion. That would be kind of cool. What do you reckon? It's at least pretty on the outside. The bit that I had it standing on, even that's, now this one is actually plastic, so it probably will just peel off and I could use that as a skin. So that's usable. Look at these where it dripped off. Very pretty. And last but not least, we have this. This is super pretty. Look at that. You've got the blue, you've got the purple. It's very cool. I like that. So I'm enamored with the whole lot. How does it get better than that? So here we go, guys. What else is possible now? What else can I choose? What else can I paint? How much fun can I have? I love this stuff. So thank you for joining me. I've really enjoyed your company, and look forward to hearing your comments in the below-y bit. Tell me what you think. Do you like it? Did you like the color combination? Would you have done it any different? Would you have stood it on something else, spun it somewhere? I don't know. Let me know what you would have done, what you'd like me to try in another video. I would love to hear from you, and super excited about the coming possibilities. So I adore you, and I look forward to bringing you another video super soon. So hit that subscribe button. In the end page there'll be links to previous videos and whole playlists. There's like 570 videos or something on that playlist, so you can just sit down and have a big binge session if you want to. Anyway, I adore you guys. I had I had fun, and I'm really pleased with the result. So I will see you super soon. Thanks for joining me. Bye bye.